Konnichiwa, Mina-san, Japanese Zulu boy no Takeo desu. Hi everybody, my name is Wandiletakeozwane, also known as Takeo. I'm a self-taught illustrator and animator from South Africa and a lover of Japanese animation, and this is my new YouTube channel. So to basically give you in a nutshell what this channel is all about, I basically started it because I've always wanted to learn the Japanese language, but the problem with me was that I was never really consistent. So with this YouTube channel, it's sort of a way for me to actually stay consistent, and how I'm gonna do that is by actually posting weekly videos of myself during this learning period of me learning Japanese, or self-studying Japanese, that is. I'll be sharing like stuff that I've learned with you guys and giving you notes that you can learn from as well. So if you're interested in actually learning the Japanese language and actually learning more about the culture of the Japanese people, please subscribe right now because it's gonna be really amazing. I think it's gonna be really amazing. Even though this is my first video, I'm kind of nervous, so please forgive me. So yeah, what I'd suggest before actually learning all about the Japanese language is actually find the reason you really want to learn the Japanese language, because it's vastly different from other languages out there. For example, the difference between English and the Japanese language is that with English we only have one writing script, which is the English alphabets, but with Japanese we have like 3 writing scripts. So it's gonna get pretty intensive, and I think that if you're not really consistent, you might just stop without actually achieving anything. So yeah, there's countless reasons of why people actually want to learn the Japanese language, and everybody has their own reason. But with me is that as a child, I've always been surrounded with a lot of Japanese animation content, and it's actually shaped the type of person that I am today. Because I don't really think without Japanese animation I'd actually be an illustrator and animator today. And I don't think I would have pushed myself so hard to actually achieve what I have. But yeah, and my love for Japan actually started, yeah, from anime, and then it filtered out to like music and like general pop culture, and I've been always in love with Japan for as long as I can remember now. So with you, you might have a different reason to actually learning Japanese. You might actually be planning to travel to Japan, or you might be planning to actually start working in Japan or studying in Japan. And I feel like in order to actually get close to Japanese people or enjoy your stay in Japan is that you actually start learning the language, because I feel like it'll make your life much easier. So yeah, learn Japanese before you go to Japan. But basically with my YouTube channel is that I'm just building a community of people who are like me and want to learn about Japan and learn the language and learn about the culture. And yeah, I hope that you guys will start actually enjoying my videos, even though like it took me so much time to actually record this video, because I've always been like procrastinating, saying now I'll record it next week, but today I finally made it, so I'm really proud of myself to do that. But yeah, anyway, the Japanese language for me so far, it's been like 2 months I've been like consistently learning it, and so far it's really been enjoyable. Since that I've always like consumed anime, that to the point whereby like I've developed an ear for the Japanese language, and I've I have quite an understanding of when and when not to use certain words. So especially when it comes to anime, it really teaches that when to use words, because if you think about it, with greetings, for example, let's think of an anime where the protagonist goes to school every morning or walks in the neighborhood. You'd hear him or her say "Ohayo gozaimasu," and you'd end up figuring out that okay, in the morning times, people usually say "Ohayo gozaimasu," and by adding the gozaimasu, it becomes a little bit more polite.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。おはようございます。
And another example would be that when the characters in an anime are about to eat, they clasp their hand and say itadakimasu, which would mean thank you for the meal. And you'd say this before actually eating the meal. And then when you're done, you'd probably do the same thing and say "Gochiso sama deshita" or "Gochiso sama," and that would mean thank you for the meal again, but you'd say it after you've eaten. And you'd also learn different greetings of different times. So with the morning it'd be, of course, "Ohayo gozaimasu." Then in the afternoon it'd be "Konnichiwa," and in the evening it would be "Konbanwa." And to say such things like good night, I think it will be "Oyasumi" or "Oyasumi nasai," whichever one you want to use. But all of this knowledge you actually grasp by consuming any type of Japanese content, be it actual TV series or commercials to anime and even books. So I really recommend once you actually start learning the Japanese language that you start practicing reading books, and not really complicated books, because the book that I'm reading now is Yotsuba, and I really like it because even though it has some kanji in it, it has the explanation of the kanji on the side written in hiragana and katakana. So yeah, read books. But I really have high hopes for this channel, and I hope that people actually enjoy the type of content that I'll be giving them, or the value that I'll be giving them. So yeah, self-studying the Japanese language in 2019. Just to give you a short or a brief intro into the Japanese language. As I've said, we have three writing scripts in the Japanese language. We have hiragana and katakana. These are the first two you're going to learn, and grouped together they are also known as kana. You can think of them as the Japanese alphabets. Then we have kanji. So what is kanji? So basically kanji is like Chinese characters but in Japanese writing, and they vastly different to hiragana and katakana, because with kanji it actually like carries out an idea and it stands on its own, unlike most characters in hiragana or katakana. So with my next video, what we actually doing is starting out learning hiragana. Then after hiragana, we'll move on to katakana. Then after katakana, it'll be like a small introduction into kanji. Then after that, it'll be like actually starting to learn about the particles in the Japanese language. And the books that I'll actually be using, one of the books would be Genki. So the Genki series, starting from Genki 1, we'll be using that. And another book that I'll be using is a book that I actually received from the Japanese embassy here in South Africa. And it's, I'm not sure if you can see this, but it says Yasashi Nihongo, which means easy Japanese. Well, with this book, what I realized is that it really explains well about when and when not to use certain particles in the Japanese language. So to clarify this for you, in the Japanese language you have like 7 particles. It's wa, ga, o, ni, de, no, and to. So each particle carries a particular role in a sentence. So for example, with the ni particle, it actually is plays the role of marking a destination. So an example with that would be "Gakko ni ikimasu." "Gakko ni ikimasu," and that would mean I go to school. And with the no particle, it's basically a possessive particle, and it shows ownership. So you could say stuff like let's see, make an example of this book again. You'd say Takeo kun no hon desu. And yeah, it really explains those particles properly, and it's pretty rad. But yeah, I feel like with my channel, it's gonna really make me even more consistent than I already am learning the Japanese language, and it'll give value to you guys out there actually watching this video and you want to learn the Japanese language. And yeah. Oh my gosh, 今日は暑いですね. It's so hot today. But anyway, sweating here. Just nervous. But yeah, if you like this video and you're actually curious about the type of content that I'll be delivering, please hit the subscribe button right here below, or this weird icon thingy. And if you're not interested, that's okay too. Please share it with whoever you think is gonna be interested in this content. And another thing I'd like to say is that with each video that I'm gonna release, my reviews of what I've learned for that past week, I'll actually create notes for you guys so that you can actually learn from them as well. And yeah, comment below if you have any suggestions for things that are actually hard for you to understand in Japanese, and I'll try help if I can. And yeah, let's learn Japanese together. じゃあまたね